Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I decided that I was gonna try and start a new video series today dealing with the junk, quote unquote junk, that can accumulate around the homestead. One of my big goals this year, me personally, is just to clean up some areas that have just gotten a little overrun. That way we can actually move to utilize that space for just anything that'll benefit the homestead more. But first I am going to take some popcorn kernels down to the girls. So I figure, you know, I want to take y'all on the entire process with us of this homesteading adventure, and a lot of that is making space for new projects and making space for whatever. And let's face it, most people's homes, most people's yards, they're not perfect, you know. If our you want to say hi? Hey ladies, what y'all doing? All right, you can't bum rush me. Watch out. Here you go. There's definitely not enough kernels for everybody, but some of them will luck out and get some. But yeah, we're not perfect by any means, and there's a lot of stuff on this homestead that we can improve on. And part of why I want to show y'all that process is because if you're a beginner, or if you've been thinking about getting started but you're overwhelmed because you have areas, I don't know if you can really see it that well, but areas where it's a little junkier, so to speak, it doesn't all have to be done at once. And you'll see with our videos that it really is a process. It takes time, but you know, you chip away a little bit each day, or a little bit whenever you have time to get stuff done. And I just wanted to show that it's possible. You know, it might not happen as fast as you want it to, but you'll get there. And I know I mentioned it probably in a couple of videos by now that it used to drive me bonkers whenever Dirk would bring home scrap or bring home just random stuff. I'm like, we don't have space for it, which we do, but you know, it piles up, it accumulates, but it's all necessary because you can use it for repurposing and everything. So my goal this summer is to just get certain areas that have been neglected and get them cleaned up more. And hey, if the space isn't spoken for an upcoming project like building the goat fence, goat pen, everything like that, if you think of something, if you're watching and you're like, hey, I know what would go great there, I know what you can do there, let us know. We're always up for trying something different, and we've got a lot of space on this homestead that we're not utilizing, and that's just something that we're working towards getting better at, and y'all can definitely help us with that if you have any ideas. So today I'm going to take you over kind of by the greenhouse. I've mentioned we do mums every year. We grow them from plugs, and what we don't sell by the end of the year, unfortunately, usually they just get left in the pots behind the greenhouse. And today's the day that I'm going to clean that up, because here soon we're going to have to get that greenhouse ready. It's not ready to start seeds this year, but we'll definitely need it ready for Mother's Day and flower and produce season. So I'm going to take you over there and show you what I got going on. All right, we're down here with the rejects of last year's mums. I've gotten this big bucket here, and essentially what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to be getting last year's, the soil, anything that's reusable for this year, just getting it cut free from the roots. That way we can reuse it this year. There's no sense in wasting pot soil just because something didn't sell or something died. You know, you learn pretty quickly when you're trying to get a homestead up and running that wherever you can cut costs, you need to cut costs, because it can get pretty steep pretty fast. But we typically do a few hundred mums a year. The first year that we started, we only did 100 and sold most of them, and then we really took a leap of faith the second year and shot up to 500. You know, we're usually left with, I don't know, maybe 50, 60. It's not too bad. And really what we should be doing is taking them at the end of the year after we're done selling them and actually planting them somewhere here to have them grow back for next year. They are supposed to be hardy. I know a lot of different things factor into that, but, and I've gotta apologize if I'm sniffly at all. I'm not sick, but this Indiana weather's just driving me crazy. You know, I love the warmer weather coming so early, kind of. We definitely need the freeze, but this jumping back and forth 30 degrees in one day. Yesterday the high I think was 71 or 72, and the high today is only 40. And then here in a couple days it's supposed to be back up in the 40 or in the high 50s, low 60s. So it's taking a toll on my sinuses. How about y'all? Of course, you can probably hear the road traffic. This won't be our forever tiny home and our forever homestead. We will eventually have a place that's a lot farther off the main road, and we're only 600 feet from the highway, which it makes it convenient for our store because it's really easy to get to. But, and you can kind of see in the background there with the mirror and the little shed and everything, I got to do a lot of cleaning up this year. It's one of those where you put it off and then you put off the next cleaning project, and then before you know it, you've got 50 things that you're wanting to do and then 50 other things that you're needing to do. But, you know, we'll get there. You'll get there. Just keep working at it and don't let yourself get discouraged. No sense of that. That's not going to help anything. But yeah, this way y'all can see some transformations here on the homestead. More of just seeing, you know, the before and after, but actually see part of the process of what it takes to get there. And yeah, so, and it's not like this is stuff that I'm not going to be doing anyway, so when we mix our fertilize together, when we do start growing our mums and transfer the bulbs into the pots, I like to add some rabbit poop to it. Rabbit poop is great fertilizer, and it's not hot like chicken poop is, so I don't have to worry about it burning up the plants. Our mums that we have grown the past couple of years have been more on the small to medium side. And what I'll do with this, once it's full, I'll just find something to cover it with so there don't get a bunch of rainwater and stuff in it. And then we'll reuse it when it's mum time again. And typically we'll pick up our plugs I want to say the first week of June, maybe June 1st, June 2nd. We get all of our plugs from Pop and Arbuckle Greenhouse down by Scottsburg. Great people, great people. And I don't know if I'm gonna try to get around to trying to grow these from seed. Once the greenhouse is done, we're definitely gonna be growing, you know, our hanging baskets, starting hanging baskets, doing all that from seed ourselves. But I'm just gonna have to look into the cost. It's not really that much money to buy the amount of mum plugs that we do buy, and I just need to look in cost versus time and effectiveness and everything. So trust me, if you start them from plugs, you still got a lot of work because you're planting them around June, and then we don't start selling them until end of August, beginning of September, I believe. I always forget every year. But it's a lot of babying until they get big enough to where they'll shade out the weeds. But until then, you've got to make sure they get watered. And mums are funny because they love water, but you still don't want to overwater them. So Dirk set up the drip irrigation system, and we'll go over that a lot more. We'll have a video or two about it when we get it set up for the year. He's got to do some work on it. We had a leak last year, but it makes it a lot easier because mums don't like to be watered from overhead. So it saves me time because I can just turn on the water, and he's got the filtration system hooked up to it. And again, he'll go more in detail on that and show you the systems and everything when we get closer to that time of year. But the goal is to try to grow bigger mums this year. I think we're gonna do 300. We're scaling back just a little bit because of everything else that we have going on. But I think that we're gonna do a little test, because when we were talking to them at the greenhouse, every time, I believe it's every time they get watered, they get fertilized as well. So a couple of times a day they're getting fertilized. Where with ours, we were only fertilizing maybe once a week. We were kind of a little bit lax about that. But we're gonna try with some to see if we can get the big old great big ones. And then the rest we're just gonna do like we've normally been doing, because a lot of people do like the smaller sizes. You just have a little bit more flexibility of where you can put them. So my chickens are going crazy over there. Sounds like somebody must have laid a pretty big egg. Well, I'm taking a little break, emptying my mum pots, because one of my chickens is just making a lot of noise. And I'm pretty sure it's just that she laid an egg, or is somebody's in her favorite nesting box. But I'm gonna come over here just to make sure that nothing's You hear them crazy hens? What's going on, ladies? Huh? What's going on? Goldie. What do you know, Cinnamon? Bernice. Hey, darling. So what we have here is one of our little Banny hens. Bernice is in a nesting box that Cinnamon wants to use. So we've got a little screaming battle going on in here. So good to know nothing's wrong, you know. If the hens start causing a ruckus, it's usually egg related, something like that, nesting box related, but you always want to make sure you don't have a predator that snuck in. But all right, time to get back to my pots. All right, we got all the pots emptied. Made a little bit of a mess, but all right, so we've got 3 pots here that are 100% potting soil ready to go for the mums this year. And then this extra pot here is just all the extra mums that I couldn't quite get all of the soil, the potting soil off of. Once the weather warms up, I think I'll be able to shake more loose. It's all about preserving everything you can, saving all your resources. So, well, there you have it, friends. It took me just a little under an hour to get that project done, and that's including when I had to go check on those silly chickens. But didn't take too long. But you know what, it's been something that I've been putting off for a while, I just walk by it and kind of have my blinders on, and there's no sense of it. You know, I had some extra time and decided to get it knocked out, and hey, that's one thing I don't have to do come mum planting season. I'm glad y'all tagged along with me today, and just know that, you know, if you're overwhelmed, it's all right. Just take it one day at a time. It'll get done. If you're thinking about starting your own YouTube channel, but you kind of have hesitations because of that, you might not think that your yard's up to shape, or maybe you have one too many junk piles, you know, that you prefer to have. That's all right. You know what? It's real. It's raw. This is how we live, you know, and it's all a work in progress. And I'm glad that y'all are coming on this journey with us. And I'm hoping that by doing these little videos for this video series of cleaning up with Mama Bear, I'm hoping it kind of keeps me accountable and keeps encouraging me to keep working at these projects, because really it's just, you know, even if we might not need the area that I'm working on right now for a particular project, we will in the future. And if it's clean and ready to go, we can just hop on a new project whenever we want to right there. So it's just something I'm doing. Let me know if y'all have any tips. Like I said, I think Dirk's gonna make a strawberry bed behind the greenhouse right there, but we'll see how that goes. He might have changed his mind and moved on to something different by now. But keep on keeping on, friends. Until next time.